it's not really about the team, what you play at, which level, high team, whatever. It helps, but like, if you're a good player, they're gonna find you.
Half of these guys are better than me as a pitcher, and so now I'm like having like a little like in-team competition where I'm trying to become better than them.
Pitchers are doing weird things. They're probably playing games, hacky sacked. One thing is, apparently you're also a chef. I've never heard of a guy make 3 home-cooked meals in one day in college. That's pretty much the most impressive thing I've ever heard.
That's just the rare form, but I think a good changeup's the best pitch in baseball, just my opinion.
I love when sliders come into my barrel.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often, but when they do, I tell you what, it is fun, and it's a big surprise. So you're basically terrorizing this team.
No.
You're chirping yourself?
No, I think our coach said it, match Bush with Bush.
Great kick change.
Black Friday deal, we got it. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Live at the Show, podcast where we talk about baseball, life, and everything that comes with chasing the game. Honestly, pretty cool episode today. Jake had to actually step out, so got to pinch hit, get a little step in for Jake, and get to meet these guys for the first time. So I think we have a cool conversation on our hands, and I think it'll be interesting to get to know each other on camera. So first and foremost, we have Brady Thompson, infielder, right-handed pitcher at UNCW. We have Thomas Paxton. Nope. See, guys, this is wrong. We have Alex Sobel, left-handed pitcher at UNCW, and Thomas Paxton, right-handed pitcher at ECU. What's up, fellas?
How are we doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing great.
Good. Sorry about the intro.
Yeah,
like I
it's okay.
said,
Fine.
this is how you know you're getting some authentic stuff right here. Unprepared, unscripted. Pretty
Maybe
excited.
third time's a charm next time.
Third time's a charm.
Mm-hmm.
We can also edit and redo, but we won't. So
Yeah,
here
no,
we go. All 3 of these guys played at SBA, Showcase Baseball Academy. So first and foremost, talk to me about that experience. I know you 2 played together. You were a year older, so maybe not have crossed paths, but spent some time here. And just get into something you want to share about that.
All right, I'll start it off. Came to SPA about 13U, just getting on the big field. Came in here, played on the top team, whatever. Wasn't getting the opportunity that I was looking for. Great team, great coaches. Everything was exactly what I was looking for. I hadn't developed as much. I was really small, really undersized. But I knew it was coming. My dad was a late bloomer, so I knew it was coming. But I actually got dropped to the second team about 14U. I think it was the best thing that ever happened to me, actually. So got dropped down to the second team, got a more opportunity to play, became I wouldn't say the guy, but just more confidence on that team. Colin Thacker was the coach, great coach, gave me an opportunity. We still played in the big tournaments that everybody else played in, but I feel like I had more opportunity to get seen by college coaches, and that was always my dream growing up, was to play at the next level. And I think my best opportunity was to go on a team where I was the 1 hole or the 2 hole, or just playing every day, not subbing here and there. But I think it was the best thing that happened for me, just getting seen as 2 college coaches in these big tournaments, that I was a good player on that team. And it's not really about the team, what you play at, which level, high team, whatever. It helps, but if you're a good player, they're going to find you. And they don't care what team you're on. They just want to see you hustle on and off the field and be a leader on the team, whichever team you're on. So that's my story.
Yeah, pretty similar. I came over when I was 13. I played on the top team. I was a pretty big kid. I was probably around 6'3" as a 13-year-old. I just came over, so I was able to play in the big tournaments and get seen by colleges. I want to keep it a little shorter than that.
Yeah, pretty straight to it. Love it.
Yeah, my SBA journey actually started when they were the Canes, when I want to say 10 years old. And I played here for about 2 years. And then I ended up leaving, going to a different program. And then I came back when I was a freshman in high school, came back and played for the top team, and had a lot of good memories. We went down to Louisiana once, and we stayed in this hotel. And, I don't know what it is. We're all staying in the hotel, and we had a great time. And that's something I really enjoyed. And then moving from there, Jake's kind of just always helped me out, moving forward with my going into college and getting looked at and scouted.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys coming from pretty awesome college programs, especially like kind of on the curve up. ECU's been good for a while. UNCW's kind of like underrated in the sense of they're good every year and they just kind of fly under the radar, but really good programs. So it's a testament to the work you guys have done to get there. And I'm sure you had plenty of help, but was there like a time throughout your journey where you were like, man, like I have a chance to play D1 baseball? Because like for me growing up, I'm always looking at falling into comparison a little bit, but like trying to figure out if I measured up. And for you guys, was there a moment where you're like, man, I can really do this?
Yeah, so back to what I was saying, 13U, I was super small, so I thought I had no chance. 14U, I was still pretty small. Going into high school, I was kind of the little guy, whatever, the second baseman where you just hide over there. And about junior year, I had never gone to any perfect game showcases, PBR, nothing. I'd never been to an event, so I was really under the radar. But junior year, I played at Providence High School, a very good program. Coach Ignite, one of the best coaches around. Junior year, I had an opportunity to play shortstop and second base, and as a huge program that just came off a 32-0 state championship run. And yeah, so that was cool. So, and then I got the opportunity to play second base on that team, and I kind of grew into my shoes. I shot up, put some weight on, got in the weight room, and had a very good junior year, probably my best year of high school, and it just clicked. I didn't even have any bombs, but it just, everything was working. The swing felt good. I was missing
you played
balls.
D1 baseball with no bombs.
Junior year, no bombs.
Impressive.
Yeah, so, but junior year, everything started clicking, and from there, I was like, maybe I do have an opportunity. Maybe they will come. They still weren't coming in, like, left and right, so it was a process. I had to go. I played the Bortle Battles and the Body Armor State Games, but that's the only thing I went to. And then I just kind of got some calls here and there, and some visits started happening. And then I was just like, wow, this is all I've dreamed for.
Yeah, cool moment. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I realized I was able to play college baseball when I was a freshman in high school. I topped 85. I was a 6'5" lefty down in Florida. That night it was my first couple phone calls, and it was with some Power 4 schools. So right then and there, I was kind of just like, I have a chance to play at the next level, and I kept working at it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say mine's like junior year. I went to the state games, and I was standing there. I see all the scouts there from the colleges. I'm like, wow, I actually might have a chance at playing Division I baseball. And I did not have a good series there at the state games. Going into that, my senior year, I had a really good senior year. And I was like, I could play Division I baseball, but I had no offers. I talked to nobody, and I was probably just going to go JUCO or just quit in general. And I was given a chance to play Division II baseball, and I was like, it's my highest offer. I'll go there. And I was still thinking I was better than that. And it took me until about halfway through my freshman year of college to figure out I might have a chance of playing Division I baseball.
How do you, I guess, like, okay, so you went D2. You think you're a better player than D2, but it's like, how do you manage the humility and to go there and give your best effort and be on a team with the desire to move forward? Like, how do you focus your mindset into being like, this is where I am, like, I have to give my best here with where I'm at without trying to be somewhere you're not, if that makes sense?
Yes, I had to find my identity pretty much. In high school, I was a catcher, third baseman, first baseman, no pitching at all. So I get to college, and they're like, hey, you want to play in the spring? We need you to pitch. I was like, well, freshman, I want to play in the spring. So, I started training like halfway through the fall for pitching. I was 86, 88. And I was like, well, I might be able to do something. I still like coming out of the bullpen. I hated starting. I refused to start. And so finding out that, like, hey, I'm just learning to be a pitcher. But I was like, there's also, half of these guys are better than me as a pitcher. And so now I'm like having like a little like in-team competition where I'm trying to become better than them, but not like kind of get in their face about it. That's kind of how I had to like push myself to become like a Division I player, because I thought I was a Division I catcher, not a Division I pitcher.
Identity, very important. That's something that comes up a lot, especially on the journey with all the failure and stuff. I think like one thing I'm noticing about this group is the adaptability. It seems like all of your stories have this perseverance slash transition slash adapting to the circumstances you were put in. And I think that's an important thing with the generation we're in and the kids that are growing up today, is like we have the transfer portal, we have preference, like we can kind of pick and choose and take power back a little bit to do things that in the way that we drew it up, you know what I mean? And it's like, it seems like you guys responded to the circumstances you were presented in and exhausted all resources in order to persevere to get to where you are today. I know you mentioned being all over the place and going through a bunch. I know you're transitioning to first base right now. Yep. And also doing some pitching stuff. So, yeah, how does that land?
It's so basically came in as a middle infielder, and we got guys that have been there for a while, and make the coaches give them their trust and their loyalty, because they've been there longer than I have, so they get every right to play way more than I have. So coming in as freshman, I just wanted to like get an opportunity, get some ABs. My number was 50 ABs. That was my goal. I ended up getting 100. So I was very fortunate.
Year, 50 ABs was the goal.
That was my goal.
That's a pretty humble mindset.
Yeah.
That's a pretty awesome thing to shoot for.
And then got lucky enough to get 100, which I'm super grateful for. And played some second base here and there. Didn't really start up. Had a decent, not really great freshman fall. So that's kind of where my ups and downs were. Came back in the spring and played pretty well. And they ended up giving me an opportunity, but not at the start. It was more like 3 weeks in, 4 weeks in, when you're kind of battling that mental side of, hey, am I going to redshirt? Am I going to play? All that and then something just clicked. They put me in, and I played pretty well. So then played second base, and then come back this year. We got a fifth year at shortstop, and really good player. Second baseman's a senior, really good player. And our first baseman got drafted, and they come up to me about 3 weeks before our first scrimmage and was like, hey, we think you're the best fit, or we want you over there at first base to start getting some reps. And I had played first a little bit in high school just because I would pitch, and then I'd go to first base to save my arm. So I told them that I was like fully in and I was ready for the challenge. And so then I started practicing over there, and then got fortunate enough to start there at Duke at our fall scrimmage, and just have gone from there. But I think it's a pretty good transition. I think middle infielders, all infielders can play first base. All you got to do is catch it.
Yeah. Not only, I think that's great. I really do. And not to put you on the spot, but in this day, you have an opportunity to be like, no, I don't want to do that? And like, did you consider changing schools at all?
Absolutely not. My goal is just to get in the lineup. I just want to hit. If that's a DH, if that's a left fielder, the only thing I don't want to do is catch. Like, I'll play any other position except for catcher.
Careful, God does funny things like that.
That is true.
Whenever you say never, that's sometimes
He does,
you end up right there. But you're a little tall.
Yeah, I don't know if that builds for me.
A little long, yeah. You never know. But
so I was like, I could stay in the infield. I've always been an infielder. Why don't we stay in the infield? First base is pretty easy. If the guy makes a good throw, I just catch it. If he makes a bad throw, yeah, that's on you.
That's something you're good at.
That's on you, bro.
If he makes a good throw, you catch it.
Yeah, I mean.
All right, guys.
So
wrap it up. That's amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, but no, definitely didn't want to change schools. I love what they got going on. I love that they're giving me the opportunity to play there rather than just pushing me to somewhere where I could be a second or third guy. I think that's a big part for me, is why I stayed, and yeah.
Yeah, gratitude. Helps the old perseverance journey. That's
For
really
sure.
cool. Yeah. What about you? You guys, you got anything?
Yeah, so perseverance-wise, I committed to University of California, Santa Barbara my senior year of high school, and then I turned out to just like have the worst year. I was domed up like mentally. Had a terrible year on the mound, and then they eventually pulled my offer, so I couldn't even go there. So in the next week, I went to visit Gaston College, which is a junior college, and I ended up going there last year. So I mean, it was all like I was debating whether I should just quit, but then again, I had to go to junior college for school anyway because I didn't apply anywhere else because I thought I was going to go to Santa Barbara. But I ended up going to Gaston, and then that was a grind too. But obviously glad I did it because now I'm in a great program with great coaches. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of going on the same track of what I already touched on. I went to Belmont Abbey, which was right down the road from Gaston College, actually. And I went there for 2 years. They only gave me a shot because I went out to a camp and I knew somebody on the team. I think that was probably just God working his magic. But I went there, and it was a struggle at first, adapting to it. The free will thing of college itself, that's hard in itself. Like I said, I had to find my identity, and that's kind of what it all came down to. Kind of grounded myself, and I feel like that kind of just led the way for me.
Yeah, let's get into that a little bit more. Like, now that you guys are at college, the recruiting experience, like feeling like you fit, you belong, but then like actually at school, like you show up freshman year, and we talked a little bit about it from the performance end, but I'm interested, like, including baseball, but from the life end of like, you now have freedom, like less structure. I mean, you have a busy schedule, right? Things are semi-mapped out for you. It's a nice, like, lily pad into the real world, I would say. But it's like you have more expectation and demand from a schoolwork standpoint, more expectation and demand from a practice standpoint, like waking up, getting yourself places. Like, talk to me about that adjustment, freshman year.
You started.
Yeah, I'll go. It was hard. I missed practices. I got in trouble for it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was hard. I'll be honest, I wasn't great at school. I didn't
Why
really-
miss practice? Just question.
slept in. We had like a,
Really?
early practice, probably made bad decisions the night before, went to bed late, and just slept through a 10:30 practice.
So you found it, I would say, like, you found it hard to structure like a sleep regimen that like helped you get to bed at a decent hour. I think that's like an unspoken thing with a lot of college athletes is like, you might have been the one that slept through, but there's a lot of guys running on 3-4 hours of sleep. And it's not always necessarily that we're like out doing the wrong thing. I think like this freedom from high school with no parenting structure can sometimes lead us to exercise that in a way that like we don't know when to shut off our TV. We don't know when to shut off our scrolling, and you find yourself up at 1:32 in the morning with a 5 a.m. lift, and it's like, I think that's a more common thing that kind of goes unspoken at that age.
Yeah, and it was my freshman year. Like, I learned from it. I'm glad it happened because I wouldn't be where I am now. But yeah, I think finding a more like scheduled sleep schedule for me, or like more set, like you can't change your sleep schedule. Like, that's what kind of helped me out the most. Like, my following year, I started going to bed at 9 p.m. and
It's nice.
didn't change it.
Man,
Never
get ready
changed
for
it.
kids. I tell you what, when you have kids, give yourself a 12-hour window because you never know. It's like a ticking time bomb sometimes.
Zach's got a
7-month-old.
7-month-old.
Yeah, so you'll hear me talk about it a lot. That's adversity. So, but
Just being able to use my junior college experience in Gaston as a learning block. I mean, I've made the same mistakes as Thomas at Gaston, where I might miss a early lift because I was doing something the night before, or I mean, just being able to learn from my Gaston experience about the failures and the timing and the routine that I was able to build now at Wilmington, but being able to learn what works for me better at Gaston was huge for me.
what about like course load? You notice the high school senior, like we have a lot of guys, especially SBA, that are getting ready to head to school, committed, or just generally curious, heading that direction, like school-wise, high school to course load freshman year, and like your freedom, like Tell me about that. What's that like? What's that transition like?
I would just say, I think UNCW does a great job with that. We have your freshman fall, we have 3 hours of required study hall that we have to check in to a athlete building, check in using our ID, and it tracks our time that we're there. And then once you leave, you have to check out. So that is a great opportunity that we have to get all our stuff done. Meanwhile, people use it greatly, and some people just don't, which is up to you.
What is up to you? What do you use study hall as? Do you think study hall is effective?
I think
Do you think study hall is effective?
yes,
Really?
but
Tell me why.
It is.
I
Do you
can't.
use it too?
I have to, yes.
Do you think study hall is effective? I used to have a huge problem with study hall. I think it's effective if you utilize that time, but I feel like it's a little cookie cut for me, and it's just what if those hours aren't the time that I function best to get my work done? And it's I don't even know if I ever really used that time to get work done. I felt like it was just adding to my schedule. So I'd love to hear that. I'd love to hear how it's effective, just the structure of it, the discipline.
Well, I see where you're coming from, because if you have no work, I would tell my academic advisor this, my whole thing is checked off. My Canvas is all checked off. Do I still have to be here?
You sure do, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah,
So I checked
sure
in
do.
and opened the computer, Wheels Baseball YouTube for 3 hours.
Yep.
But
It's good.
when
It's good for the
when you
brain.
have a heavy load, it does help just because it's a different atmosphere for me.
Yeah.
The room, which you're sharing with another freshman, can be distracting. Somebody could be playing video games. Somebody could be on the phone. And sometimes you want that time to be I need to lock in. And it's not always perfect for you where you can have this quiet room just to yourself, because you have to adapt to having a roommate, which you've never had before, back home. And so I think this study hall is good just because you can put headphones in and do your work. But if you don't use that time wisely, then I think you could also do it by yourself if you just want to do it with the guys. We would have times where we would have our study hall done, which we didn't do anything. But then later on in the week, we'd have stuff pop up that are due, and we'd all go into one room, and it would be yo, we're all together, but we're doing homework together. So that's what we kind of did. I think study hall can be helpful and non-helpful just because it just depends on what type of person you are, how you learn best. But it's definitely more UNCW, because that's only where I've been. It definitely helps you because they put so many steps in to help you be successful. And they want you to be the most successful. They have people that check on you all the time, just grades. And we have can't get into the dorm pass, whatever. So there's freedom, but there's also things that go into play there. So.
Okay. So looking at time management, right? You show up to campus, day in the life. I don't want day in the life on off day. I want day in the life as in what is a full day of UNCW or ECU? A full day, study hall, all things included. Give me a timeline. I think people are very curious to know, hey, what is my life going to look like when I get to college? And a lot of days are packed really full. That's how I remember it. So run me through it.
Yeah, I'll start off. So I was lucky enough to only have 2 in-person classes this past fall at East Carolina. So it'd be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I would go to class in person.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but 2 in-person classes.
Correct.
Did you guys experience the same thing?
No, I mean, my day in the life is going to be a little more.
So you're going to class?
Yeah.
Did you have that? Is it more when you get into junior, senior year that you're taking less classes in
I
person?
think so.
I'm not sure. Because at my last school, every
That's
class was
fair.
in person.
Okay.
There's
I
no
didn't know.
online option at all.
Honestly, this is very educational for me. I went to college. 2016, I graduated, and that's a long time ago. So 10 years ago, it's nice to see how things have adjusted. But back to you, day in the life.
Yep. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I have class at 9 a.m. And on Wednesday, I have class from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So 2 classes on Wednesday, and 1 class Monday, Friday. So I'd go through a Friday in the fall with scrimmage and everything. That's kind of a full day.
Inter squads on weekends, right?
Yes.
Pretty much all day events.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
So Friday, I normally tend to wake up like 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, somewhere in there. I get up, I'm making breakfast, just kind of having like a slow morning. Right around 8:30, I'll head over to campus, go to class, sit there until 10. After that, I'm heading back. I'm making like a kind of like an early lunch, and then I'm going to the field, probably getting to the field around 11:30, 12. And after that, I kind of lose track of time. We have clocks around, but we're not allowed to have our phones at all. So Cliff has
At the field.
Yes. So we can't have it in the locker room. We leave it in our coach's trailer because our locker room's getting torn down. So we have trailers now.
I know the life. We were rebuilding a stadium when I was sophomore/junior.
Yeah.
So like we did have our phones in the locker room.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So no phones.
Side note.
No phones. Coach Godwin wants it so we can like connect better.
Do you find that that is the case, honestly?
Yes, naturally. But if you're like, people get upset that they don't have their phones and they try to sneak it and they kind of like avoid talking to people just because I don't know. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But
Do
I
you
think
like the no phone policy yourself?
yes and no.
Yes
I
and
think
no.
it's effective, but I think there's sometimes like when you need your phone, like half the times we don't have their phone, they'll sit out like a message blast that we need to see for like a team meeting or something.
Classic mix-up.
No one has their phone.
Yeah, you could see how that would be an issue with
Yeah.
scheduling. So, I don't know. Interesting.
But yeah, we're getting to the field. We're there probably till I want to say 6 because our early work's from like 12 to 3 is like early work, roll out, stuff like that. Just
12 to 3 early work. So that's like you're showing up, you're getting movement prep, your bands, pitchers are doing weird things. They're
Yeah.
probably playing games, hacky sack.
Oh, yeah.
You guys, hitters are actually probably
Getting better.
training, getting ready.
hitters
priming
are doing
body to
stuff,
move.
they're
You guys are throwing a football when I walked in today for the podcast. Super important to get ready.
yeah.
Just have a
But-
good curveball.
3 hours to prepare for like pregame stuff. Like,
It's not mandatory. I normally like in there around 12. Some guys will show up, at 1:30. But, kind of last time to be there is probably about 2 o'clock.
Okay.
And we'll get our inner squads rolling in the fall, probably closer to 3:30 maybe. And then, inner squad until about 5:30, 6 o'clock. And then, we have a team meeting after. We talk and then, shower, go home. I'm home at 7. And then I'm making dinner and getting ready for bed, getting ready for Saturday inter squad at 9 a.m.
I would like to know multiple things. One thing is apparently you're also a chef. I've never heard of a guy make 3 home cooked meals in one day in college. That's pretty much the most impressive thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. Can't say
But
so.
yeah, quick day in the life, UNC. You don't have to overshoot it, but what do you got?
Yeah, as a transfer, like my class schedule was terrible. So my Friday was the hardest day where we'd have a 6 a.m. lift to start it out. So I got up at like 5:30 and I just left. But
Horrible advice.
no,
Lifting. How many times a week you guys lifting?
I forgot that we have lift after.
I was going to
squad.
say, I was going to ask, that was my second question, but I didn't hold it. Is post-game or pre-game lifts? Like, are you guys
Post-game.
doing post?
We're post-practice.
Even during season? Because, like, for me, when we used to do, like, a lot of post-game toward the end of my career and the beginning of my career. It was like, I think we had lighter pre-game movement stuff, but we might not even have lifted early in my career on game day. Do you guys, like,
No.
is it always post-game? Pitchers kind of always stay that weird post-game arm care ordeal.
We don't have post-game lifts at all.
No,
So
you guys
Friday,
don't lift.
but Saturday morning when we're on the road, we'll not rent out, but go to the opposing team's weight room, and it's an optional. It really is, but if you're playing, you can, like,
Saturday morning?
Saturday morning. Friday, we get there Friday and play. Saturday morning, we wake up early just to get our legs moving, and coach wants us up and moving because the game's probably at 6 o'clock. So waking up at 10, lifts probably at 10:30 or 11. Just get up, get breakfast. But it's optional if you're playing, but if you're not playing, it's kind of mandatory. So that's the only time we lift, like, in season. Or we lift the days before, but
And that's mostly position guys, probably not in there. Like, depending, I mean, I'm sure, like, as you go up, it's with anything, the more trust you build, the more
Correct.
you're allowed to, like, kind of step away. The younger, less active you are, the more you're involved. But, like, I feel like pitching even stays on the back end, though. Like, are you going to Saturday morning lift as a lefty? That's You know what I mean? Like before the game.
I mean, this is my first year, first season, so I don't really know how that works, but I would doubt it.
So pitchers usually at the starter, absolutely not. Stay in, sleep. You don't got to do anything. Relieve guys that maybe see in the game, maybe not. Pitch the day before, probably not. If you're pitching that day, probably you just go and they do what are the plyos and the isometric stuff and the mobility,
awesome.
all that. So they don't really lift, but you'll get some guys that want the arm pump or just the mobility type lift.
I couldn't have gave a better analysis than that.
Yeah.
You gave it a lift and like a pump thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that combo is certainly college. So I love that for us. Looking ahead, like this spring, like excited about your role, excited about your team, and give me the real answer. Not the pretend your coach isn't watching this because he's probably not. You know what I mean? Like how are we feeling going into the year? Weaknesses, strengths, like things we gotta clean up. You guys are headed back in what 4 or 5 days? Like what does off-season training look like? Because you guys go from college season to summer ball maybe, depending on health and depending on innings and all that fun stuff or at bats. And it's this weird period of you go back to college in the fall and it's almost like a season. It's probably the heaviest in-house workload. The season is honestly lighter than the fall. The fall's pretty heavy and intense. And then you have this small window of off season, which is right now. You go home for Thanksgiving, you go back, take some finals, and then you go back home. And it's this is your time, right? It's not only what does that look like, but how are we feeling as of today, with regards to you guys heading back?
Yeah. So for us, we got back on December 17th. So we have 3 full weeks, and I leave on Wednesday, so that'd be the last day of the to make the 3rd full week. We've been kind of after Thanksgiving, we took a deload for pitching, so all our arms kind of took a week off. Took 10 days off. We've been building up slowly, and last Friday was my full first 100% pen, going back into it, getting back into it, and it felt great. It's January. I was indoors throwing. I was 89, 90, somewhere in there for the most of the part, and it was a little uncomfortable, to be honest. But I feel better now. I feel like I'm ready to go back to school and start back at inter squad and go
There's
compete.
always that pickup too. It's if you're in a good spot, I feel if you're around 80, 85%, even if you're pushing it, especially as you get older, pushing it in the indoors in the bullpen, it doesn't always correlate, just because that competitive nature of the game really opens up parts of your body that you can't produce in a controlled environment, just because you as athletes now we can get so fixated on movements and addressing inefficiencies that we end up fixating on those things while trying to have this element of performance. So to be encouraged and to go into it is I think that's a great spot to be.
Yeah, for pitching, we've been throwing bullpens all break, Tuesday, Fridays. The only thing ramping up really is just the pitch count and just making sure your body feels good and do what you do for that day. The bodies felt great. The main thing I needed for the winter was a changeup or something that moved arm side, and I was able to get it with the kick change. It's been great.
Wow.
Love that.
You're on the trend.
I am.
Kick change.
Always
Here comes
trend.
the splitter. I tell you what, this game, this kick change, splitter grind, it's coming. And it's I watched the game over the last, I don't know, I've been in pro ball for 10 years now and college before that. And it's before the glue went away, it was everyone was IVB. When you could stick, everyone was carrying, and that was big. Up in the zone, hard fastballs up, depthy breaking balls down. And then when they took the glue away, it got a little sinky. They wanted to go back down and in. Low zone became dominant again. And sweeper was big with the glues. It's always going to be big to have a good slider, but it was just kind of tunneling down out of the zone. And now it's everyone's trying to get like plus fastball, whatever category that gets in, because it's always like good. But that kick change and splitter, man, and it's just I think it's such an effective pitch as a hitter, which kind of leads into like this, like not to cut off anyone's answer, but it's like to take that like it's like tunneling versus spin, and it's I think the kick change and the splitter are super effective because of tunneling. I think guys that really do well with spin are able to have more success on the changeup. What do you guys got on that? Are you guys like focused on tunneling? You have a hitter more than a pitcher, but like tunneling, spin, like what do you find yourself like mapping out your game plan in, or your identity as a pitcher?
I think a changeup is the best pitch in baseball. Just because you can't see, it doesn't pop up, it doesn't spin, you can't pick up spin. It's just, it kind of just right out of the hand looks like a heater, and then it's either, if you have a good one, it's either going to go down and away, or it's just going to drop straight off the table. And
so you're a tunnel guy. That's what that means.
Yeah, which as a hitter, like, if you see fastball out of hand, you're gearing up for fastball, and then something drops. You're not good. Nobody's good enough to just adjust and hit it like. You're kind of just gonna swing through it. I mean, the best of the best are gonna adjust, but like that's just the rare form. But I think a good changeup is the best pitch in baseball. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the changeup wasn't really like a thought about tunneling or anything like that. It was kind of just like, look, I have 2 pitches right now. They're gonna ramp me up, and they need to see something that goes arm side low. And like I came in with a great slider, came in with a good fastball. I just needed a pitch that would just break the other way. So they ended up realizing I'm a supinator, and I couldn't throw a natural pronating kick change or changeup. So I needed to try the kick change, and it just worked out for me.
And you feel like it kind of creates that action to complete your arsenal.
Yeah, it's just that last pitch I need to complete the
Thank you, kick
good
change.
arsenal. Great kick change.
Black Friday deal. We got it.
Yeah, I've tried throwing a kick change. It was really good for about 2 months, and then I lost it. I tried like 3 other different changeups, kept losing, and I went over the splitter. So
You do have a splitter now?
yeah.
Yeah, so you're in the category. You're doing the thing.
Yep. Yeah. I like the tunneling though. You know, I have rather good fastball, so I just like everything to play off of that.
Rather good. Carry.
Yeah.
Okay, so you throw a straight heater, throw the splitter off of it,
Yes.
and then probably a good 12-6 breaking ball.
It's more of a sweeper.
Sweeper.
Sweeper and then a cut or 2.
Nice.
Yeah.
Most confidence in what pitch?
Fastball.
Slider.
That adds up.
Yeah.
Changeup.
What about as a hitter?
Most confident in hitting?
Yeah, heater.
Yeah, heater.
I was gonna say.
What off speed?
Do I have?
No, like what off speed would you rather hit?
I feel comfortable with?
Like a sweeper, like a 12-6 or?
I hate like straight up and down. I mean, I think anything that comes into my barrel is better for me because I'm a left-handed hitter. So like a righty slider that comes into my barrel. But if a righty can throw a backdoor breaking ball, I think it's very like that's tough. Like because it looks 4 feet out of the batter's box and breaks into the black of the plate, and you just can't pull the trigger.
Gotcha.
But for me, if it looks up and then somehow it's the catcher's blocking it, you got a really good breaking ball. So, tip your cap there. But a slider for me coming into my barrel is probably my favorite.
Yeah, I love when sliders come into my barrel.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often, but when they do, I tell you what, it is fun, and it's a big surprise.
Yeah.
Because usually I swing at the ones that bounce off the plate away. But that's just me. It's not everyone's game. It's just one of my strengths. For you guys, toughest opponent. I guess you could go college, like team. Like I guess our senior year, like. Even if it wasn't like the best team you played, and we can go off last year for the best like matchup, but when we won the national championship in 2016, we played like Florida, who was like had like I don't know 6, 7 like first, second round arms, and like they were super good, but like.
Grow up, Brady.
Is there an interruption here?
No, you're good.
All right. Am I tasting myself too much?
No.
All right.
No, it's
Well,
just pretty.
anyways.
We'll tell you after.
Yeah, can't wait. So if you have like that one team that ends up giving you the toughest battle, just matchup-wise, like, ours probably would have been NC State. And it's like, by far, like, ran into them, struggled, and they just gave us the hardest matchup. And I don't think they were the best team on paper. I don't think we were the best team on paper. But toughest opponent, 2016 at Coastal, I give it to NC State. We played them, and not to get long-winded, but we played them early in the year, first weekend. I think we played like an 11-10 game where we just battled it out. And then we had them in the regional and had like two extra inning. One they absolutely smacked us, but then one extra inning long game that ended up winning us the regional. But yeah, I'd have to go with them. What about you guys?
I can't answer the question at the Division I level because
Yeah,
I haven't played a
that's all
spring.
All levels count. Yeah. College baseball. If you play in
If we're
college, you're
going
doing it.
Division II, I'd probably go North Greenville.
See, great
They were
reference.
Yeah.
Really tough lineup most of the time. A lot of bounce back guys. So
A lot of bounce back guys. North Greenville, I think that's something that's super overlooked at that level. It's like D2 to D1 has this like connotation that like there's a big gap. And like, sure, I guess across the board, top end to bottom end, like maybe, but there's a lot of Division II teams that would beat a lot of low-level D1 teams a vast majority of the time. North Greenville, Tampa, like these are schools that can easily compete in Division I conferences and win conferences, in my perspective, because a lot of guys, I mean, it might be a little different now with the transfer portal, but like back when you couldn't go D1 to D1, like a lot of these guys would drop back into D2, and they're really good players who are still playing the game.
Yeah, I mean, similar boat. My first year at D1, but if I had to say, it would be Duke. We played them in a fall scrimmage. JUCO-wise, it would be Florence Darlington.
Okay.
They were good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, last year, we play all the big like ECC in the midweeks, the Carolinas, the States, Coastals. They were really good last year, but I got to give it to Southern Miss and actually Northeastern, which I hate to say it because they're in our conference, but they're just scrappy. They have a really good coach, but they're just like their dugout is just like intimidating. It's not intimidating, but they're just loud, and they're like, you'll get out, and they were in the first base dugout when we played them, and the whole dugout is barking at you until you hit like our dugout, which it's like it wasn't like Bush, but like it's just like they were all like bought in, I guess. Like you got the pitchers who like they kind of want to do their own thing, but which is totally fine. But like in that dugout, they had like every single player. They didn't even have anybody in the bullpen, like until they were throwing.
Are you guys chirping? Do you guys chirp?
Oh yeah.
You're a big chirper.
Oh, yeah.
I could kind of feel that from you.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy chirps. I could see that. Are you? So you're back end right now, like a little bit. You're throwing
Yes.
like closing.
Yes.
So are you like I'm headed out there in the third, fourth inning, hanging out in the dugout, or are you guys straight to the bullpen in college?
No, I like hanging out to about the fifth or sixth inning. Just
It's a
like
big deal.
watching the whole game, figuring out I guess my
Big deal.
game plan going into the end of the game.
I like that.
He can't.
So
He
you're
can't let the
chirping in the
batters.
dugout, and then you're headed to the bullpen, and you're giving it to the left or right fielder sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Got to play the game. I love that. Are you chirping? You're not chirping.
No.
way.
Absolutely
I'll
not.
bet
You never
you
chirp.
could guess that one.
Yeah, I might thought
We
I
get
might have
lucky if
had
we
to
get five-
explain what a
five
chirp
words
was.
out of
I
him.
didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you chirping?
I mean, there's a point in time.
So you're basically terrorizing this team. Who's
No.
chirping? You're chirping yourself?
No, I think our coach said it. Match Bush with Bush. Like if they want to be bushy, then like we have somewhat of a right to do it. But like, I don't. If the game's just going perfectly fine and nobody's chirping, nobody's playing like not how they're supposed to, then I don't think there's a right to chirp. But you get those times where you hit
little-
a sword or something
A little
and you
saucy, a
gotta
little fired up. Yeah.
you gotta let 'em
It's
know.
gamesmanship.
Yeah.
I mean, guy swings, ball bounces,
Yep.
four. Pitcher
Yeah.
spikes one. Who knows? Throws it off the backstop.
Nice swing on
It's
the
all in
30
good
footer.
fun, you know? It's all serious out there. You got to break the ice a little bit with this little joke sometimes. Nothing personal. I love it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
can we get a day in the life of Zach Remillard
Me.
in the pros?
In the pros, day in the life.
Yeah.
This past year, I was rehabbing Tommy John, and therefore, a day in the life looks like watching my daughter fishing and stretching and doing work. But the year before, it's kind of different, honestly. AAA to the big leagues, it kind of takes like a very different structure. I think AAA is it's more rigid. Like, if AAA, if you have something to do, like you're doing it and the team's doing it, you kind of don't, like, you can't skip anything. It's kind of everyone's under that, like, programming to where BP and stuff isn't optional, but even to take it back before that, like, I'm waking up probably, I don't know, 9 to 10, probably having some breakfast. Actually, I get in the Word, drink coffee, take a shower, and we usually have a bus to the field for a 7 o'clock game around, I don't know, first bus 12:30, 1:30, depending on where we are, road home. So I might get breakfast with a teammate, might hang out, but definitely in the Word, getting myself ready for the day and get to the field. I lift a lot during the season. I like to do a a micro lift every day, because I'm a big proponent of, like, if I'm going to do something, like, I want to be able to do it every day. So I don't want to have 3 times a week where I have something big hanging over my head. Like, I like to do small, consistent tasks. So I get to the field, first thing I do is change, and I get in the weight room and try to knock it out. Some
What's a
days are
micro
tough.
lift for you?
A micro lift for me is probably, I don't know, it's adjusted a lot over the years. I feel like now that I'm 32, like, my body has a lot of different needs, but I would get into, like, probably 2 supersets of 3 to 4 exercises and probably like 5 sets, but keep it light, keep it moving. And I get after it some days. So, like, the fluctuation kind of went into, like, if I found myself on the bench, especially in the big leagues, like, I would, like, some days I wouldn't play for multiple days at a time. And, like, if I wasn't playing, I was shagging early BP. I was running around trying to keep myself in shape in case, like, if someone got hurt and I ended up playing every day and I've been sitting around and kind of losing my my game speed, like, I didn't want to end up getting hurt. So I tried to keep myself in game shape, whatever that took. It then, it kind of scaled back with how much I was in there. And then you hit BP, or you hit cage, hit BP, eat, and kind of get your mind ready for the game. I always hit a pregame shower. Ended up getting back in the cage before I roll out there. Then you're playing 7 to 10 every night, and you get home, try to cool off, try to come down a little bit. It's a little bit harder in the big leagues. It's like you're a little juiced up, and it's tougher to sleep. But ideally, I'd get to bed around midnight and do it all over again, shooting for 9.5 hours of sleep. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, but no, appreciate you asking. I'm always here for any questions.
Going on, like, kind of like calming down after you said a game in the big leagues, like, mentally, what did you find that maybe helped you calm down, or maybe that didn't help you calm down after a game?
I feel like it's relatable to, like, your experience. Like, some of it's, you don't have this. It can feel like your life is very, I don't want to say controlled, but, like, you're always having someone else structure your day. In pro ball, it's like you have long days at the yard, and there's always, like, something to do, and you're on someone else's time. So, like, there's this little inward desire to just be like, to take back your time. So even if you're tired, you want to, like, use this free time to do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? Just have some time to shut it off. Because once you wake up, for me, especially, like, early in my career, when I woke up, it was game day all day. You know what I mean? And I've gotten better at shutting that off and kind of, like, waiting till I get to the yard. But for a while, it was like, I don't know, early in my career, it was a lot of watching, like, movies and watching TV shows and just, like, a lot of escaping. I was trying to escape the baseball world and shut my brain off. Now I think it's more of a, like, I try to be more intentional with my time because, like, even like faith, from a faith standpoint, it's like I know what's best for me is to be rooted in like Jesus, the Word, the gospel, my family. And it's like it can feel sometimes like you have a lot to do, or I have a lot to do, but there's a very vast difference between a lot to do engaging in things that are draining and a lot to do with engaging with things that are life-giving. So like I could have a full day of things where I'm interacting, I'm pouring out, I'm in scripture, I'm serving at church, I'm like doing all these things and like take in season out of season out. And then like the next day, like I could have freedom to do whatever I want and I could drain myself, you know what I mean? And it's like, I feel more energized the next day from like engaging in things that are life-giving. So I think it's shifted over time to where like, I like to spend time with my family. I like to enjoy a healthy post-dinner snack that before I go to bed. I like to spend time with my wife. I like to talk with my wife. And sometimes I like to watch a TV show. But the content changes. Like I used to watch very different things than I'm watching now. And I found that to really help my clarity, really help my energy and my focus. And honestly, a lot of times, like I used to like use different like sleep aid stuff that like probably wasn't for my best because I was trying to be in control. I wanted to put myself to sleep, but like my sleep quality wasn't good. I'd rather just put a Band-Aid on it. You know what I mean? So I think through experience and time, it's like you learn that. I don't know. It's through the growth process, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you find yourself like that pregame shower, like you said, like flipping a switch for game mode, or was that like you said it was kind of all day at the beginning? But
yeah, I think that the pregame shower was like definitely like when it began to flip, and it's just kind of like it's nice to wash off the work of the day because I wasn't a guy that like I never tried to conserve energy. Like if I was like shagging BP, if I was hitting in the cage, like I wasn't monitoring my workload because like I never really thought like that. So I would kind of wash off my workout and I would rest. So I would get in the shower, probably finish on cold, and then go to my locker, put on my headphones, and I would like meditate, pray, breathe, read, and with noise canceling headphones, and I would like get like awake rest. I'd rest my body and like rejuvenate and recharge and kind of like wake up for the game, if that makes sense. Sometimes I'd lay on a foam roller and just like totally just drift off. Pre-game naps, they're fire.
I've done pregame grounding. That's like the only thing I can get close to a nap maybe. But
the grounding it's interesting. I mean, there's something to it. Well, it's a little weird. People probably think you throw 100 when the clothes are walking out there and
No shoes, yeah.
yeah,
Eating grass.
yeah, just reconnecting.
Yeah.
Eating grass.
No, I do like that though. I really do. Yeah, closing up. I don't know. Best baseball memory, walk-up song. Anything sound like something you want to offer the kids? The kids are watching. Kids look up to you. I think that's a huge perspective. Is like this podcast, like time here, you guys developing. Like it's crazy from my vantage point. Like I've played in the big leagues, like pro ball, but like I think the college aspect sometimes is like a lot closer to a kid's desire. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like the relatability, like they look up to you guys so much and they think you guys are superheroes, and it's like, man, you got anything for them? Anything you'd like to tell yourself when you were that age?
I would just say don't get caught up in the social media, in the Power 5, Power 4 commits. Like that's a big thing because when you're going through a recruiting process, you see all your buddies and everybody's posted on Instagram that they've committed to these big schools and whatever. But I just feel like as me that wasn't getting all these Power 4, Power 5 looks, that it's just sometimes you just got to swallow the pill, and who knows, maybe the D2 route is the way for you as a kid, like as a kid coming up. Like maybe that D2 route gives you on the field as your freshman year, which is so hard now that these rosters, these JUCOs, these fifth years, these COVID years are kind of over now, but like maybe that is the best opportunity for you to play as your freshman year. Then you enter this transfer portal and you get that Power 5 offer, or you go to these JUCO, you go crazy and you get these Power 5 offer that you've always dreamed of. But I think that not only like going Power 5 is not always the move, right? They always get caught up in these Power 5, whatever. But like the posting on the Instagram that you've committed to these schools, that's great. But like, are you actually going there to play? Like, are you going there just because that was your first offer and you were 6'5" as a 13-year-old and you didn't really pan out? Or are you going there as like, hey, this is the best opportunity for me to get on the field? I think it's a big opportunity when going through the recruiting process, is like, what's going to get me on the field as fast as possible? And that's what it was for me, is I kind of didn't really care about these big commits because I was just a late bloomer. I was just like, what is going to get me on the field as fast as I can? And what coaches are going to give me an opportunity? And I truly believe that I chose the right school with UNCW. So I would just say, as a younger kid going through the recruiting process, is don't get caught up in the social media and all these big time recruits. Just go somewhere that fits you as a person, you as a player, and just make a relationship with the coaches, because it really does go a long way when the coaches trust you and you trust the coaches. And then just like as a little kid, I would just say, just have fun. Like everybody says have fun, but like you can go these days and you strike out and you get in the car and your dad's cussing you out at 12, 13. Like as a parent, like
shout out to dad.
Yeah. It all happens because dads are competitive and they want the best for you. So they're going to get frustrated, but in the long run, it doesn't help. And it just tears people down. And I think my dad is a big part of my process, and that would happen minimal. But he always wanted the best for me. So did my mom. My mom would always, I could go for 4 strikeouts, and you played great out there. Did I?
Yeah, maybe like mom take like a slightly different approach. Yeah,
But-
I love that with mom. She's
Yeah.
like, you played great. It's like, all right, that's a little too
yeah.
far the other way.
If I go 0 for 4, I know that my mom's in the stands the most proud of me that
But
I've ever
also,
been.
your dad is one of the best youth coaches I've ever seen. So shout out to your dad for doing like an awesome job.
Yeah,
Being a
he's-
parent, also whole different. Like it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
It's, someday you'll experience, and I mean, my daughter isn't obviously playing sports yet, but being on the experience end of parenting has like humbled me a lot in how much parents, like, it's hard. It's hard. It's a lot to take in, and they do a lot. So shout out to the parents out there doing their best. Keep getting better.
Yeah, my main thing is just like, end of the day, it's a game. Have fun with your teammates, because you're just really hanging out with the guys and enjoying yourself on a field for hours on end. Like, just hang out and just enjoy what you really like to do. And if it's playing baseball, great. But just cherish the moments with your teammates is really what I've learned at college baseball. It's really just a team game. Like, you really need to be with your team more and more and just develop the relationship.
Yeah. Speaking from personal experience, I think you end up where you're supposed to be, and you have to make the most of it. Whatever route that is, JUCO, D1, maybe going straight to that Power 4 school and then maybe transferring out of it and going somewhere else. It sounds a little selfish, but you got to do what's best for you, and that's kind of what you'll do. You know, anybody can do it. You know, if you put enough work in, you can go where you want to go, or eventually end up where you want to be. But
Yeah, I think one of the coolest things is like if you look at all of our stories, it's like the timeline is never like when perseverance is involved, the timeline's always a little bit further. It's always a little bit pushed back, and it's a little bit, the experience of getting to where you think you want to go is always very different because like it happens usually in delay. You know what I mean? Like you're playing Division I baseball, like you're getting ready to be the closer. You've been at UNCW. It's like, but you were a late bloomer, and you have this like these goals and desires, and like you're living into them, and I'm sure you still have more. But it's like this consistency of like you think the finish line is right in front of you to get to where you want to go, but then like it always kind of stays further out there. So for me, it's like tying it into like what you said. It's like it was never about the mission itself or the end result. It's always about like my best memories of college baseball, pro baseball, even making it to the big leagues. Like the most fun I ever had playing was like with the groups that were the most enjoyable to be around. Like it didn't matter if it doesn't matter if I'm playing well. It didn't matter if it was youth baseball or the big leagues. Like it was always about like the time spent. Like I slept on the floor in high A with one of my with 5 guys in a 2-bedroom, and me and my buddies shared a room. We slept on the floor, and like he was one of my best friends in pro ball, and it was like some of the best times I had in my life, and it had nothing to do with baseball. I probably was pouting most of the time because I struck out and wasn't doing good enough and wasn't getting where I wanted to go. But like I remember those seasons as super enjoyable just because of like one guy, being around one guy. So I think that's really great, and I appreciate you guys sharing all that. And I had a good time getting to know you today. I mean, we started, I botched your names, the intro, and look at us now. I think maybe we'll go get dinner tonight.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
This was awesome. So, yeah, just want to thank everyone for being here and just for engaging in some conversation.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Love
having
it.
me.
Thanks.